I'm going to wait for everybody to get in before I actually start saying, you know, calling out names and stuff. If you um, want to hear me shout you out and say hello, not hear me. If you want me to say hello back, you have to say hello in chat. I'm not quite up yet, guys. I never got out of bed till noon today. I'm still um I'm still having I'm still see, I'm still having a hard time. I'm still having a hard time with oh, it's snowing. Squirrel. I'm still having a hard time with getting back into the swing of things. I've had a lot of if you look at my year, the last year, okay, the way the things I have been going through, like blown knee, blown hip, blown back, still getting the gardening done, still getting the canning done, not being able to use my pool as I needed to. The absolute amount of work took twice the amount of energy this past summer and fall. And then, you know, I'm all over the place, guys. I'm all over the place. I'm just still recovering from a rough summer and an exhausting fall. And I'm still, you know, I'm also cutting back on. I take lorazepam for my insomnia, and I'm cutting it down. I've gone from I used to take 60 pills a month, like 60 milligrams in a month. That was 1 milligram tablets a day. And then it went down to 1. And now several years later, some days I'm going down to half. It takes a really long time to get off lorazepam because it's an anti-seizure drug. I didn't know this. And so if you try and go cold turkey, you can actually have seizures whether you're prone to them or not. That's what I heard anyway. So I am still not sleeping right, even with medicated cocoa. And I'm just here. I'm pretty much just here, right? So there is a video coming out for tomorrow. I never got it finished last night. I never got the video finished editing last night. The crockpot turkey dinner was really, really good. It was really good. And I still have I've been saying this for days, but it's like taking me so long to feel like I'm getting like the rest is doing me any good. But I'm still functioning. It's just that yesterday was nuts. Absolutely nuts. I got an email from YouTube saying that they were demonetizing you remember this from yesterday, right? That they were demonetizing my reading channel because they gave me these 2 things. One was, if you use Dream Tracks music and blah, 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 blah. And then there was this other one about Russia and Ukraine and all this stuff. And I went, I don't have anything to do with either one of those things. So I said, okay, you're back. It's like, who? But in the meantime, in the 4 or 5 hours it took for them to get back to me, I started moving, re-editing, not re-editing them or redoing the books, but, you know, cleaning them up, changing the artwork, and then uploading them on Rumble. Now, some of them are a completely different thing because they're 2 chapters in one and all that stuff. But that consumed me, because I had to work in solution or I was going to have a panic attack. I was going to have a panic attack because losing my reading channel is half my income, right? So it's all good now, but it's not stopping me. I have downloaded most of the Little House on the Prairie books already, which is I'm going to start redoing them and putting them on Rumble only to get them off my computer and so that I have them. If for some reason someday YouTube goes, we don't like you anymore, poof, and your channel goes, because trust me, they're capable of it. And so I no longer feel safe on YouTube. Does that make sense? They just said no, that when they changed their minds, it wasn't they changed their minds. They gave me an option to appeal by video. So I sent them a video saying, I don't understand. I've had this channel for years. None of this has ever been a problem. I live in Russia because they're suspending YouTube services, or they're suspending people from uploading YouTube to YouTube if you live in Russia or the Ukraine. I said, I live in Canada. And then there was this Dream Tracks thing. I said, I only use YouTube audio approved music. So I don't understand why you've done this to me. And so after 5 hours of work and moving stuff, I'm already into the second book on Rumble when I got an email back saying, oops, sorry, it's all good. It's like, I really don't trust them anymore, right? Number 26 on the like button. What's that? What's that mean? So anyway, we're up to 91 folks. So let me now make sure you're on live chat, not top chat, in case you missed some part of this scintillating conversation. Let me say hi to everybody. I'm going to pop out the chat. And oh my goodness, the numbers are still going out. So I'm going to wait a few minutes and let things go up. Now, while I'm waiting for the numbers to stop, it's not that I want them to stop climbing. It's just I don't want to have to answer questions more than once. So, oh my goodness, is it ever snowing? Uh-oh, I just got the thing fixed. Here we go.
Well, hello, baby girl. Did you keep mommy warm?
You're a good girl. Let me look in here. They look pretty good. They smell pretty good. Nothing wrong with your ears today. You just like mommy rubbing them, don't you? She's your mommy, darling. And your mommy loves her. Loves her oh so much. 'Cause she's her mommy's sweetheart. What's this? She's her mommy's girl. She's her mommy, darling. You saying hi to everybody? Look right there. Look. I know I'm not supposed to take. Look, up there to hi. We get hi, oh, that's her hello, everybody. All right, you want a treat now? All right, we're not giving you big pieces of these treats because they give you the toots. There you go, little. Oh, there's a blueberry. And good jobby. All right, that's that. There you go. Go lay down in front of the fire. All right. Okay, so let's pop out the participants list and say hello. Oh, no, I've dropped my face again. Hang on a second, guys. There. Hang on. There we go. Hi, Alice Silva, Angela M. Hi, April. Autumn Gypsy, Seychelles, Aloha, Chanel 25. See, this is where my brain is right now. Chanel 23, Chloe Cat, Debbie Altman, Denise Hackett, Donna Stafford, Evelyn Pohl, any relation to Dr. Pohl? Freaky Geek, Waldo, Jenny Bruno, Julia Campbell, Julia Johnson McGee, Kathy Acevedo, Kim Solomon, Lacey Black, hi Linda, Bob, Mary Lindsay, Michelle Jones, Molly Smith, me, Rebecca Lynn, Rosie Bernard, Sheila Hubbard, Sherry Leach, Susie Q and Tina Elliott and Wilma Baker. How's everybody doing today? So I was taking my clothes out of the dryer, and I got some new underwear for Christmas. I get underwear, I buy it for myself, and Howie wraps it, okay? Because I don't trust anyone to buy me underwear except Nan. Hey, Edie, Stacy, hi, Brenda Hoffer. How's it going? So I was taking them out of the dryer and folding them. Yes, I fold my underwear because they're big. You got a big bottom like me. You got big underwear. Anyway, I was looking at they no longer put the tags in just my size cotton underwear. And sometimes it's really hard to get. One year, all I could get was breathable nylon, and my body does not like nylon. My clothes at least have to be like 60% cotton, or I just, it's weird that way. Hi, Stacy, Brenda Hoffer, Joe Mama. In a pot of too salty soup. Work. Can't hurt to try. Can't hurt to try, right? And then like put a whole potato, a big peeled potato in, cut it down the middle in half, and then lift it out later and see. All you can do is try, right? Happy birthday, Eve. Oh, don't remind me. I'm 60 tomorrow. Oh, Hellenberg says, yes, Joe Mama, it works. So I'm one of those label readers. They don't put labels in underwear, at least not in just my size anymore. They just stamp the cotton. And the just my size cotton underwear from last year were made in Thailand. This year's underwear, and they're not as good. Like sometimes it goes from cotton with elastic, and the elastic in the groin, like in the leg holes, is covered, to the really good set of just my size that came from Thailand. They have a nice wide cotton band that encases and yet they charge the same amount of money. So one year I got nylon, last year I got really good underwear, and this year I got so-so underwear, at least they're cotton. But want to hear something wild? This year's underwear, on the inside in the label, it says, do not use fabric softener. Why? How many people actually wash their underwear and don't look at the label? They don't want me to use fabric. I don't use fabric softener anyway, but I wonder why, right? Making chili and rice for dinner tonight. My rice cooker is broken. Back to boiling it. Oh, well, use a crock pot. Hi, Mama Kins. Debbie Altman, I'm 60 and didn't like it, but now I'm okay being 60. It took a minute to process getting old. Oh, yeah, there's that too. I phoned the dentist this morning because I'm supposed to go on Friday and have these 4 and this tooth removed. And Howie said, find out whether there's going to be a payment plan involved with getting your partial plates made, right? I have never had success cooking rice in a crock pot. I don't think it gets hot enough. Well, you got to I have no problem with it. I always boil my ham separately, rinse it, fresh cold water, less than salty, make my pea soup. Oh, okay. It's the potassium and starch that pulls out a lot of the salt. Does not work as well if it's a cold dish. Hey, Creek Boys mom. So, oh my goodness, it's really snowing. Like, woo, wind's kicking up. Good thing I got a fire going. Face blue, smiling. What am I doing wrong? 250 grams of butter, 2 cups of flour. Snowballs are not round. I think 250 grams of butter. Do I have my book here? No, I don't have my book here. Oh, yes, I do. There it is. Oops. Okay. Let's see. Wow. Let's see. This book is beat up. It really is. Fresh pack dills, basic scones. There we are. A half a pound of butter. Now this is a double recipe, guys. So a half a pound of butter, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 5 tablespoons of sugar, 2 cups pecan bits, 2 cups flour, several pounds of icing sugar for coating. Well, if you're doing the half recipe, it's a 1/4 pound of butter. I don't know the difference in grams. I really don't. Even though I'm Canadian, I always go by pounds. I'm making goulash. I'm making garden cleanings goulash today. Your snowballs went flat. Okay, maybe it's the temperature. Hang on. Okay. Place cookie balls on a parchment-lined cookie sheet. Bake at 325 oven, 325 for 25 minutes. These do not brown in baking. While baking, take half of your icing sugar. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know why yours are going flat. Mine never do. Real butter, yes. Huge snowstorm hitting Milwaukee today. Estimated 4 to 10 inches of snow. Heavy, wet, and it's just started. Well, ours is snowing, which is kind of nice. Because we didn't get a lot of snow over the holidays. And even though Christmas is over, I like putting on all my outdoor lights at night, like my roof tree lights and my candy canes and my apricot tree, because it's pretty. Period, full stop. How do you know the butter is real if you don't make it yourself? Don't open that can of worms, honey. We all know that we got to trust labeling at some point. Besides, there's usually only 2 ingredients, cream and salt. Just gray and drizzly in Ohio. Joe, did you get your packet of seeds? Well, I'm really grateful that I've got power stations for that. If the power goes out, I have power stations. I have to make sure they're charged up, but I'm not slow today. I thought you guys were talking about actual snowballs going flat. No, snowball cookies, sweetheart. Usually states 100% dairy. Well, that's if it's unsalted, right? Hey, Trish, how's it going? How's it going? So, I can't even remember what I came here to talk about other than my underwear. I just can't seem to get, like yesterday, it was like the absolute survival of my channel mode yesterday lit a fire under me, but it's almost like it wore me out. Right? I'm going to have to get, this weekend, I'm going to go to the pharmacy and I'm going to get some, hey, Tony G! An underwear live. No, I'm not going to do a live in my underwear. Cleanse your area. I'm not sure I understand what you mean. Even if it's just about your underwear, we're going to be paying attention. Well, I don't know. Expecting heavy snow, then flooding rain and high winds here in New Hampshire. Yuck, got 8 inches Sunday, and it's so pretty for now. Oh, sage. Right. I'm sage is for negativity, honey. Sage is for negativity, and I'm not that I don't want to burn it. It's not that I don't want to burn it. It's just that I need to get some things organized in my office. Jury, aura. Please keep me in your prayers. Hey, Bama Missy. I have a double ear infection and is getting the best of me. Oh, honey, I'm so ear pain and tooth pain are the worst. Right, the dentist. Right, the dentist. Hi, Kathy. How's Kathy Wills today? All right, so I phoned. They sent me a message asking me to text yes or no whether I was going to take my appointment on Friday. So I phoned them back and I said, look, I need to know because I know the partial plates are not covered under our dentist and or under our health plan. And even if they are, after they remove these 4 teeth and this one, after they remove 5 teeth from the bottom of my mouth, I have to let my mouth heal for 3 months before getting the impressions done and partial plates built. And the partial plates run about $2,500. They didn't say whether that's a piece or all together. And even if my insurance does cover it, they're only going to cover 500 of it or so because I'll have used up the other 500 in getting these teeth out. So I phoned them back and I said, I need to know if I can do a payment plan, right? And I said, and not a loan. I don't want a loan. Like some dentists will say, okay, well, we're going to check your credit rating and we have a loan officer that does these things. No. I need to know if I can, say give you $250, $300 a month for $2,000 or you know what I mean? It would take, I don't know, 5 months or something, or 6 months I could do it in possibly 6 months. And then she said, well, we don't do payment plans because I asked the dentist about this. She said, sometimes the dentist will make a payment plan for you, but it's not long-term. And I said, what, like no longer than 6 months? She said, no longer than 3. How am I going to pay $2,000 over 3 months? How am I going to do that? Right? So I said to her, I said, if that's the case, see, I need to know if he's going to do an acceptable payment plan before I go in and let him take out 5 more of my teeth. Because if all of a sudden I'm missing all of these teeth and oops, we don't do payment plans, then what? Right? So I'm still waiting to hear back from them. She said, well, I'll talk to the dentist. And I said, you go right ahead and talk to the dentist. I have to say yes or no to the appointment by the end of the day, or I get charged $35 for missing my appointment. Even if I do it, I have to give them 48 hours notice, right? When I can remember what his name is. I need to get a dentist and get another tooth pulled, but I only remember what the dentist's name is. They need to be more upfront. Yeah, because thank you, Mary, my fairy Mary. I'm still kind of in a fog. It's not a fibro fog, but I'm still in a fog. I did not get to sleep till after 3 o'clock this morning. So then I got up at 5. I made Howie French toast. I made his lunch, which was easy because he had leftover turkey dinner and just some pickles and cheese. And I went back to bed and I tossed for about a half an hour and then I went to sleep, and I kept waking up every 45 minutes to an hour going, what time is it? What time is it? I don't know why, but I'm going to start leaving my phone. Well, I can't leave it, but I'm going to start leaving my phone on my dresser instead of my bedside table, so that when the alarm goes off, or when I wake up in the night, I can't check the time. Don't want to check the time. It's one of the reasons why I got rid of any alarm clocks or clocks in my bedroom. It's one of the reasons why if I go to a motel, I unplug the phone, I unplug the alarm clock, and I put them down below on the bedside table. Because I learned long ago that having a clock next to my bedside table was really bad for my insomnia. When I was younger and first heard of wood stove, I wondered why they would make a stove out of wood. You're so funny. You're so funny, freaky geek. You give me smiles, that's for sure. Who's Toots? Toots 810. Southern Colorado. Hello. I've only ever met one other person named Toots, and that was my Aunt Toots, Mary Jane's mom. No, I haven't talked to Mary Jane in a long time. As for my friend Barb, it took a lot for me. Not a lot. It took me, a good 24 hours to come to terms with it. I also got some messages from mutual friends and relatives of Barb's saying that if she had been able, the one place she really had wanted to visit was me and Howie. But it was just, the pain was just too bad. She couldn't do it anymore. But hearing that from some of her, closest friends and relatives, like, because I haven't seen Barb in like 40 years, right? It doesn't matter, but... And so I had a few people say, you know what? She really loved you. She said you were brave, you were strong, you were resilient, you were intelligent, you had so much knowledge. And I'm looking at it. I'm reading this going, what? Because that's how I thought of Barb. Barb was like university professor material. But I don't even think she ever finished high school unless she did it like online, or in our day, it would have been correspondence course. So, hey, sis. Norma Franco. Hi. Jennifer Unicorn. Hello, hello, hello. Shay, that is my alias. Well, I'm glad you caught alive. The new movie, Beekeeper. Go see it. We just watched a movie called The Marsh King's Daughter, I think it was called. Really good. Got you a. Went to Rumble. Got you a. I don't understand what that means. You know what, Stephen? I think we're all in, a lot of us are in a fog because we're just tired. These last, I don't know, since 2019, it has 2018, 2019, it has been just such a chaotic world to live in and to function in and try and stay sane in. You know what I mean? It's one of those, I have been not avoiding, but I don't watch the news unless I have to, right? I don't, because the more I see what's going on in the world, there's something going on that when I look at stuff now, the bullshit just parts. The all the lying and everything just parts, and I see a good portion of the truth, or let's say I feel a good portion of the truth. And I just shake my head and go, I can't watch the news anymore, because you're watching, Ukraine, Russia, Israel, Hamas, blah, 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 blah. And down here it's going, food banks are being robbed, interest rates are going up. There's the people who use food banks have gone up over 400%, and yet food banks are now getting robbed. So where does that leave the people? It's just, I don't get it. So it's so much propaganda but the truth is they have to show you the truth. But it's up to us to actually stop seeing this and start seeing this. Because this is the big distraction and this is the real news. Do you feel me? Fear and division. Absolutely, Joe. To me, it's all the local violence that is disturbing. Yeah. Well, we know that when society starts to collapse in on itself, because if you think about it, that's the way it is, right? When society starts collapsing in on itself because the government isn't looking after their best interest, all the social things that are put in place to help people are not working. Things aren't working anymore the way they're supposed to. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I've been hearing that my whole life. I've never seen it more true than now, right? So, oh God, help me. Got some more seeds. So I know I've been saying I'm going to do this and I've got projects coming up and stuff like that, but I'm really taking my time. I'm really listening. Oh, thank you. I found it. It was under my seeds the whole time. My Hawaii catalog, or my Hawaii calendar. My Hawaii calendar. Ooh, there's a new moon on Thursday. Awesome. Isn't that beautiful? I love these calendars. Everybody gives me calendars. I got a calendar from my mother-in-law. I got a calendar from Paul's Auto Body. I got a calendar from, I don't know. I get calendars all the time. I get this one is my favorite so far, other than the Hawaiian one. No, I haven't found the TV remote. And thank you for reminding me. I have to call Bell Canada. So remind me before we leave. I have to phone Bell Canada. Somebody, I think it was Lori, or was it Rebecca? I'm not sure what. I know I got several parcels this year, or it could have been Linda Bob. This is a 2-year garden planner. And I was saying this yesterday. I had a meltdown today, everything going on, and my husband dying from C protocols. I'm so afraid for my future and my life. Don't be afraid. Never be afraid. Fear destroys intelligence, and that's what they want. Okay? Heightened emotions take the forefront to common sense. Okay? And you need to find your faith, or find the source of your faith and lean on it. I'm really, really sorry that your husband died due to hospital protocols. I'm really, really sorry to hear that. But fear is entirely within our control. Okay? Because fear is within our control if you're willing to see what's, if you're willing to see past all of this. When I say fear is within your control, I don't mean control. I mean, if you have faith, you shouldn't be afraid, right? You need to lean on your faith, no matter how scary things look, because that's what's happening to us as we're being barraged by war, revolution, plague, weather. I'm looking out my window and it's January and it's gently snowing, and I've got, when things get overwhelming, look out your window and note that starvation isn't at your doorstep. People aren't marching up your driveway with guns. Nobody's coming to take your shit, right? When you get overwhelmed, look out the window. You want to see what I see when I look out the window? Let's do this. Oop, get my plant out of the way here. See, look. Lightly snowing. Beautiful. Nothing. You know what I mean? So when we're afraid, it just means that fear mongers are doing their job. Right? So, hi, Kathy Roby. How are you? Teresa Pomelo, Kimberly Martin, Allie Baker, Mama Dukes, Trish Young. It's got to be Kay Dean, Sheila Hubbard, Shelley O'Donnell. Wow, we got some more people coming in here, right? So here's what you know, I always talk about grounding and centering, but grounding and centering just means taking some deep breaths, closing your eyes, and pushing out anything that makes you afraid. Like, I'm going to say that everyone says there's a certain amount of healthy fear. No, it's called healthy caution. Or it's like when the whole shooting match started at the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, right? I mean, oh, hey, I missed my nephew's anniversary. It was 5 days ago. You know, that was 4 years ago that I went to a wedding, and within weeks, everything was locked down. I went to a wedding in Toronto. People were sick at that wedding or just recovering from being sick. I didn't get sick, right? So when that whole stuff started, yes, I was like frightened, but I think it was more of like, okay, what's going on? We all of a sudden have all this information and all, but as soon as they started locking down and getting stopped by the police just for going to the store, that's when I went, no. And that's when these started coming out, I'm going, wait a minute, it takes years. Oh, I did my research. All these things is when I started to feel the anxiousness and the panic. When I started to panic, I had to focus on the things that I could have control over, or not necessarily control over, that I could see clearly. And seeing lockdowns, seeing people dragged out of their homes on New Year's Eve because they had family over on New Year's Eve. Not a huge party, just family that didn't live in the same house. There was like 10 people. And there was videos of people being dragged out of homes on New Year's Eve because of lockdowns. People being stopped. My husband got stopped 4 times a day going to and from work. All of these things made me stop panicking and start looking at what they were trying to accomplish with the panic, right? Yeah, it was. So I'm really, really grateful that I can watch the news, but I have to watch it with a really a combing look. I have to comb through the news to get to the real stories, right? You know, housing costs are at an all-time high. People can't afford down payments. People can't afford the gas to visit their loved ones. People can't afford groceries. And governments just keep squeezing the people for every last drop of whatever they can get out of them. It's almost like we're being squeezed and tossed aside because but the truth is they can only do that if we let them, right? Hey, Cal. I trust God's immune system much more than a man's synthetic meds. It's not, you mean your God-given immune system? Me too, right? But they had, it's almost like everything was pushed so hard, so fast. It was like you were in a mob. You were in an intellectual and emotional mob scene where you're being pushed along and you're going, no, wait a minute, back up, hold on. But all the other panic-stricken attitudes are pushing you forward and you're trying to say, no, stop, think, listen, research, How can this happen this fast? You know what I mean? So we, in the moment when they're flashing fear and panic at us, we have to do the opposite. We have to stop, take a couple of deep breaths, and look for the reason that they're doing this. Because 9 times out of 10, it's all about this. It's all about this. And, I remember talking to, on Facebook back when I was really, used Facebook, and Facebook was, pretty much uncensored. I remember warning people about Agenda 21 back in, 2012. And everybody was like laughing and going, oh, I had someone really close to me say, why? Now, Agenda 21 was all about giving over all of our natural resources use and trading and anything that governed the land, the water, or the air was going to be governed by the United Nations. And so that they could make sure everything was right and healthy and perfect in the world. Problem is the way the Agenda 21 of the United Nations was worded, it would have been giving over all control of water, air, and land to the United Nations for their safeguarding and keeping. Now, we're not giving up our land, but we're giving up all the decisions. We would be giving up all the decisions on how our land is used, giving up all the decisions on emissions, giving up all the decisions on pollution and the water. Now, if the United Nations gets their hands on the control of all those things, we are toast. And I remember someone saying to me, why would you be against something that is so bent on saving the planet? I said, because it means giving up total control of all of our resources, right? And I was told that I was paranoid, right? And then comes Agenda 2030, which is the final push to have all our medical decisions in a treaty, all our medical decisions run through the World Health Organization, which is also a chapter of the UN. So, yeah, okay, Linda, I hear you. So I just look at these things and go, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So you need to adopt that attitude. If it says, 2 weeks to flatten the curve, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not going to name names, life as we know it. So I actually am all for getting rid of like actual TV. I would just rather have Netflix and Prime and stuff like that, because at least I can tell myself, well, what I'm looking at is just, and even movies and stuff now, even movies and shows that are anything in the last 3 years, they're all about, they're all about the things that they tried to put in place, and this and all these things, right? Doctors in Massachusetts are starting to make people wear masks again. Well, I mean, masks have their purpose. If you've got a cold or chest congestion or nasal congestion and you're coughing and sneezing, yeah, wear a mask, because at least that'll stop the liquid spray, because, sneezes travel at something like 200 miles per hour, right? It's not going to stop a virus, but it will stop infectious, or it will slow down infectious sputum from being sprayed at other people. That's about all I can say about that. The only thing I threw out and don't use anymore is my microwave. I have a microwave and I almost never use it. but it's there for emergencies, whatever that emergency may be. But yeah, there is an internet archive site that you can get everything for free. Really? All I watch is YouTube and then I'm in control. Not really, Donna. You know why? Because YouTube is heavily, heavily censored. Facebook is heavily, heavily censored. Google is heavily, heavily censored. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. My dad used to say, my grandfather used to say, believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see. Because no matter what you hear and how you look at something, you can watch something happening, you're not getting the full story ever. You're never getting the full story unless you're the one that's in the middle of the story. And even then, you still only have one perspective to see it from. So this is why it's really important to trust the people you get information from. And I lost a lot of my trust for the government and the medical system and the police between 2019 and now, right? Hey, Lori Palmieri, how's it going? I'm at my age, I'm on the downside. I pray for the younger peeps that are going to have to live. Well, isn't that funny though? Because I became a grandmother in December last year. My Bubba is now a year old, and I have an appointment with him between 3:30 and 4 o'clock for FaceTime today. Thank you, Facebook, for that, at least, for Messenger. I forgot what I was saying. I got Bubba in my head, and that was it. I just drew a blank on everything else. But what I'm saying is, if something frightens you or makes you nervous, ask yourself why. If you see the news or something and it upsets you, ask yourself why. See, we've been trained in the last 4 or 5 years to react on our emotions without getting to the root cause of why we are reacting to them. We need the why. Why am I reacting this way? Something's got to be wrong if I'm reacting negatively. Something's got to be wrong with the information I'm being given. Does that make sense? Yes, life as we know it. I agree. That would work, Freaky Geek, if you want to fix the foundation of the pyramid by, shuffling the point. Right? I honestly think we have to start from dismantle, because the government, as far as I'm concerned, the governments aren't working properly. They're not. People are getting poorer. Money's getting tighter. Less people can afford homes. Food bank usage has gone up like 400% or some stupid number like that. And so why am I supposed to trust anything that comes out? People are getting sick despite all precautions, right? And we've been lied to in the last 4 or 5 years. We've been lied to a lot by people we were supposed to trust. So, hey, Rosita. So if anything makes you angry or upset or nervous or anxious, you need to trace it, face it, and erase it. You know what I'm feeling? You hear me? Right? I watch TV with Howard, but as soon as I sit down, if he's watching the news, I'll look at my phone. I will look at a knitting pattern. I will check my email. And then when I put my phone down, Howie hands me the remote. Why? Because, and that's a bad thing because I still can't find the remote. But the thing is when I'm watching TV, I'm the one in control. Unless unless it's how he has a program. Like, we agree on the programming ahead of time. Sometimes he watches car shows, and that doesn't bother me at all because it's car shows, right? But 9 times out of 10, if there's nothing worth watching on, which is 99% of the time, he hands me the remote and we move on to Netflix or Amazon Prime or BritBox or whatever. But even still, all right, because I hate commercials. Commercials do nothing more than spread more fear. Somewhere in the last 15 years or so, commercials went from seducing to seducing you into buying things you don't need, into telling you need to buy these things or your life isn't going to be as good. So they've gone from seduction to fear tactics, you know. So I can't even stand commercials because they just get dismantled. I've gotten to the point where I'm so good at dismantling the stuff that I see and getting straight to the point that I find TV completely useless. And don't think I watch Netflix. Like, I have to really comb through. Like, I like British crime drama. Only because it's pretty straightforward, right? Commercials are highly manipulative. Yeah. Can't be on long tornado watch. Well, you make sure that, you know, everything's battened down and you've got water and your preps are safe and all those things, okay? It's 46 today. It was 20 last night here where I live. I know a lot of people who are reading a lot more than watching TV. I read every night. I cannot go to sleep without reading. I have a harder time. I have a whole bunch of papers. As a matter of fact, we're getting rid of the piano. I was going to give it to Mel, but the problem is a mice built nests in it a few years ago, and every time I get it cleaned or tuned, I'm dealing with mouse nests. And the problem is once the mice urine has penetrated into wood, which the inside of the piano's unfinished wood, right? It doesn't matter whether you kill all those mice or not. Other mice are going to follow that trail. So the piano's going, and I'm putting in more bookshelves. So we're in a snow blizzard right now, really, in Missouri. Crafting, yay! YouTube content I watch are homesteading, canning, and cooking. That's the control I get it. I totally get it, right? But I mean, we don't realize how heavily censored everything is on social media, and I consider this social media, right? And then there's mainstream media, which is controlled propaganda. So when I tell people, like, they say, "Oh, I use Facebook because my family, blah blah blah." I use Messenger. I post on Facebook. But for the most part, you don't see 90% of what I post because Facebook is heavily censored. So from now, I'm starting to post things on Gab and then sharing them to Facebook. And you'll see my emoji with rainbow colored hearts all around me. And that means I've posted something on Gab you might want to look at because they're not going to let you watch it on Facebook. You know what I mean? Central Iowa has 7 inches so far and supposed to be up to 14. Well, it is January, right? Winter didn't even start until like 2 or 3 days before Christmas. Returning to old-fashioned letter writing would be nice. I do that. But it's hard because my hands, I can still type. But even if I type and print it off, it's not the same as a handwritten letter. So it's like my cousin Diane, I sent her, I did her Christmas card last so that I could put a note in, like write a little letter in it, because I don't get to see her hardly at all, and she's 86. Oh, I missed her birthday. It was on the 1st. With Iowa, we're supposed to get 7 to 10. Well, we're getting snow, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm kind of in a sheltered. I'm on a hill but there's also a ravine behind me. So, and the hill goes up higher. So I get a lot of sheltered. When we get snow, it's usually the heavy big fluffy flakes that snow us in kind of thing. Up to 45-mile-an-hour winds in St. Joseph, Missouri. Wow. Okay, well, you know what to do. You know what time of year it is, folks. You should have, bottled water. Even though I'm on a well, I have, bottled water. I should, what I should do is I bought one of those. I had one of those hand pumps for water bottles. And when I was supposed to get a bunch of stuff from Temu and then do ads with them, which I ended up breaking that because they didn't send me half the stuff I wanted. But there was a pump that cousin Angie has, that sits on the top of the water bottle, and you just press it and it goes, man, it spits out water out of the water bottle. Because my hand pump one was broken. It just stopped working. So I've got this one you just charge up. So I'm going to charge it up just in case. We got about 4 inches, hilltop happenings. We got about 4 inches today so far, and now it's turning to rain here in north central Pennsylvania. Okay. Hi, Linda Chandler. I'm in Western Kentucky. I know it's coming and we're ready. Good. Good, good, good. Everybody, if nothing else, we should always be prepared for crappy weather. That's why if I can help it, I'll never live in the city again. Because when weather really hits, things grind to a halt, even with snowplows and stuff like that. Power goes out in a city. It's a big friggin' deal. Right? Hey, Angie. Anyway, I've been on here for almost an hour and I've got to go load the dishwasher, and I'm making garden cleanings goulash for supper, but you're not getting a video because you've already gotten one, but you are getting my turkey dinner in a crock pot tomorrow. All right. Speaking of writing, I think they don't teach cursive anymore. Is another way to destroy individuality. I don't know how, I don't know any other way to write, right? Call Bell Canada. Thank you, Linda. Speaking of writing, yeah, a lot of places are no longer teaching cursive writing. I'm just hanging out, baking cookies, got water drawn in case electric goes out. Well, I'm making myself a chocolate chip cake tomorrow. And I think Howie's buying me popcorn, Orville Redenbacher's popcorn, for my birthday because I'm out and we're broke, and that's okay. I'm not asking for money. Don't go there. Friday's payday, right? Friday's payday. It's not a big deal. It's just a really shitty time of year to have a birthday. You know what I mean? Well, listen, folks, I do have to call Bell Canada and say that the one little bell box wasn't working. It was making our TV have green flashes, and when we were trying to watch Prime, and when we switched the box for the downstairs box, it worked better because Howie had to bring the remote up. But those boxes don't work without the remote. So the box was faulty, then we lost the remote. So I've got to call Bell, and I'm probably going to get charged for a new one to be sent out. So I love you guys. Take care. God bless. Stay safe. Stay warm. Make sure you have water and candles and an extra source of heat should the power go out. All right. It is winter. So deal with the things that are within your control. All right. This is Mrs. Wolfie from Our Half Acre Homestead saying, I'm really sorry if I'm foggy, but I'll get there. All right. Somewhere around March, I probably should start making sense again. I love you guys. Take care. God bless. Mwah.